Okay. Well, to go from the sublime to the ridiculous,
Yeah.
uh, I watched One Piece Film Red.
Mm.
So, uh, One Piece, for those of you who are under a rock, pirate anime, kind of a big deal. Nah, hasn't been my thing historically.
Mhm.
Um, but this one intrigued me for a couple of reasons. First off, this was the highest grossing film in Japan in 2022.
Huh.
Uh, it didn't really do a whole lot here in the States, but that's because the United States, for whatever reason, is not really One Piece territory.
Hmm.
I attribute this to a few things. First off, 4 Kids got the One Piece license first, so I'm sure a lot of a lot of kids' first introduction to it was a really chopped down, crappy version.
Yeah. Ninja says, never trust pop stars in anime."
um, then the second thing is this: One Piece is a dense show with a lot of bizarre looking characters. Mind you, these characters look more bizarre than they usually do because they're like this is like rock concert wear or something that I they
Yeah.
did not actually wear in this anime, so I'm not sure where this came from.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Or if they're wearing it, they're wearing an outfit similar-ish to it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think the animation style probably put a lot of people off to the show too.
Yeah, which it's interesting because what really hit me watching the movie, there was a scene where you know how Popeye would always go like blow into his thumb and then his arm would get big.
Yeah.
Luffy literally does that. So Luffy literally does that. So what it really struck me is, oh, okay. The reason One Piece looks so weird is it's basically the design principles of Popeye the Sailor Man, where everybody is kind of ugly and weird looking, applied to a serious-ish anime.
Yeah.
Although none of the girls are olive oil because he likes.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, so enough pontificating about One Piece itself. The other thing that got my attention, besides it just doing ridiculously well, so it's like, okay, why is it doing ridiculously well? That implies you're getting an audience that isn't just the core fanboys. Um,
Right.
it also featured music by one of my favorite singers, Ado, who is basically a self-taught J-pop singer who literally used to record Vocaloid covers in her soundproofed closet when other people weren't in the house.
Wow.
She is she got a big boost for popularity by doing the soundtrack for this movie,
Mm.
which is effectively a musical,
Ah, okay.
which which is kind of interesting for One Piece.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it was really the Ado connection that got me interested in. Like Ado was, I want to say she was my number two on my Spotify replay.
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of Ado, and I wasn't even listening to this album much. Like she puts out a lot of bangers, especially if you don't mind not knowing what all the words are.
Yeah. She did the theme song for Spy Family season 2.
That's right, she did. I forgot about that. See, she's just all over the place.
Yeah.
She's even doing an international concert tour, which sadly I won't get to go to because I could not take the time off of work to fly down to LA, which is the closest place to me. Uh,
It's too
Hopefully
bad.
next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so that's what brought my attention to this movie, and I'd actually bought it on Blu-ray a while back when I had some credit over at Best Buy,
Mm.
and just said, you know what? Why not? It has this songs from this performer I like. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
So the canonicity of this movie is confusing. Um, the the apparently none of these One Piece movies are actually canon, but I'll get into it in a second. So movie starts with the Straw Hat Pirates going to a big concert being held by a this red and white haired character up here, Uta, which Uta is Japanese for song or singing.
Okay.
So a little bit on the nose there.
Mhm.
Um, they'd apparently seeded her into a couple episodes of the One Piece anime, and I really tried to watch them because they came on an extra disc on my collection I got.
Yeah.
The actual One Piece anime is slow and cringe, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they did feature the music in the episode at least. So, but they do a good job early on of establishing just what a honestly awful place the One Piece world can be,
Mm,
because it is a world dominated by pirates. Pirates will just roll in, take and destroy and kill whatever they want, roll out, and the only people who are against them are the government, who the government in One Piece is cartoonishly evil and corrupt.
yeah.
So Uta has gotten herself a bit of a messiah complex, and so she declares that she's going to use her music to make a new, better world.
Mm.
Uh, what is actually going on here is a little bit convoluted. So before I actually get into the plot, I'll just go ahead and give my overall opinion of it. There were honestly a lot of characters who I had no idea who the hell they were, just because of my spotty One Piece watching record.
Yeah.
This includes several members of the crew themselves. Like, I vaguely know this blue guy over here is a cyborg who's powered by soda, of all things. I had never seen this shark guy over here before. So
Mm.
search me what his deal was. And the movie doesn't really, the movie assumes that, oh, of course, you're caught up with One Piece. Why wouldn't you be? We're the biggest anime of all time. Shut up.
Yeah.
The only comic book that's outsold us so far is Superman. We're catching up every day.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, not necessarily one to watch if you aren't willing to just roll with who some of the characters are. There's also a lot of rival pirates who show up who Luffy and or Luffy, I keep saying Luffy and crew seem to recognize and clearly have a history with them. Don't really explain what that's about.
Mm.
Not what the movie's interested in. Movie is interested in musical slash action set pieces. Often the action often being set to one of the Ado songs,
Uh,
and kind of a heartstring pulling story that don't think about it too hard. It might reduce some of your enjoyment a little bit.
ah,
But overall, just as a spectacle piece, it is enjoyable enough.
okay.
I, another soft recommend,
Yeah.
because it is available to stream on free on Crunchyroll right now.
Okay. Oh, well.
Again,
Yeah, Ninja says, yeah, the anime movie they're rarely canon, and
yeah,
yeah, he mentions the remake that. Okay, well, I didn't know it was going to be on Netflix.
I guess it makes sense if Netflix is ponying up for the live action show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully the it'll have a tighter story and less filler.
Yeah, One Piece the anime is kind of a weird relic. It's like if Naruto and Dragon Ball and Bleach, with their padding and filler arcs and slow development, we're still putting out episodes in 2023. Like it's very much a 90s 2000s model of the current anime.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which yeah, it probably doesn't work well with today with
No,
this today.
God knows I even if the animation was amazing, I hear 1,000+ episodes and I go, no, thank you.
Yeah. I don't have the time. Yeah.
Let's see here. New anime is being done by the guys who did Spy Family. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
good animation.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get into a slightly deeper take on what the story actually is and my issues with it.
Okay.
Spoilers start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, Uta there, you'll notice a couple things about this poster. First off, there is not a clear villain on the poster. That is because Uta herself is the antagonist.
Oh.
She is pictured there with Red Shanks, the pirate,
Yeah.
who is Luffy's hero growing up, who lost his arm trying to save Luffy.
Yeah, and he gave him his hat. Yeah.
Yep. Um, Uta was Shanks's adopted daughter, and she at some point, I don't know if she had already eaten this Sing Sing fruit when they found her as a baby, or if she also went poking around Shanks's stuff for things she shouldn't have gotten, like Luffy did. Uh,
Yeah.
But the Sing Sing fruit, you sing, people fall asleep, and I guess you can share dreams with them. This
Mm.
is particular, and it's hard to decide whether to tell this chronologically or the order in which the characters find things out. I'm just going to go for chronological because it kind of lets me highlight more of my issues with what's going on here.
All right.
So she and Luffy were good friends growing up. When they meet up again in the future, they do this weird contest where they try to see who can eat the most fried chicken before an animal crashes into them. It sounds weird and it is weird. And
Yeah.
she always cheats to win.
Uh,
So just like childhood kitty stuff, she's almost like a female version of Luffy in some senses.
okay.
Um, but Red Shanks would always take her out on their boat because she would sing to entertain them when they're out there doing their pirating.
Mm.
When they go to this island where it's this, they go to this island where it's like this musical academy, and there are thousands of singers. And Shanks gets the idea that he wants to let her live there forever because so that she can really develop her musical talents.
Mm.
Um, she sings, and apparently there's some really bad luck on her part because if you so when somebody who sings with the Sing Sing fruit sings on this island, it awakens the tot musica, which is which the word the Jerd tot is death in music. The
Oh.
word tot is German for death, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh. Okay.
Um, so it unleashes this ancient god with who has like piano keys for arms, and he just look really nuts.
Uh,
And he proceeds to burn down the entire island, killing everybody on it except for her and this old guy who literally looks like Frankenstein.
okay.
Um, and Shanks decides that he and his crew will take, the Navy shows up, and Shanks and his crew take a bunch of valuables from the island and decide that they're going to, you know, because they don't want, I guess it's because they don't want Uta to get blamed for the destruction that she caused. They decide to take the blame for this mass sacking and pillaging of this island, and they leave. And Uta hates them because she thinks that they killed everything
Uh,
and then left her behind,
mm,
like basically abandoned by her family.
okay.
So this is where I have a problem with it because you think, okay, so you have this old guy who's now raising her on this destroyed, bombed out island in complete isolation
Mhm.
because that's a responsible choice,
Yeah.
especially when she's still on the island with the eldritch death god, the Tot Musica,
Yeah.
and the old man refuses to throw away the sheet music that lets you summon the Tot Musica because he can't stand to destroy music.
Yeah.
But nobody's at fault here. The old man, he meant well, but he just wanted to raise her in safety. And Shanks meant well because he didn't want her to get blamed or whatever. It was very
Mm.
convoluted. It would be much easier if the old man had just been a cultist of the Tot Musica who lied to Red Shanks and said that she was dead and lied and told her who killed the island. And then it could be like a misunderstanding that gets reconciled at the end.
Yeah.
But no, it's weirdly falls into a modern Disney trap of not wanting to have a villain
Uh,
outside of the Tot Musica.
why?
Good question. So Uta, while she's on this island, ends up a bunch of see in One Piece they have these snail phones,
Yeah.
like a bunch of them that can also do video streaming somehow wash up on the shore, and so she uses them to broadcast basically music live streams, and everyone loves her music, and but life is so hard, and like a typical teenager,
Hmm.
I'm thinking of a certain someone. How dare you? She assumes that she knows better than everybody else involved, and she's going to use the Sing Sing music and the Tot Musica to sing her songs and trap everybody in this blissful dream reality that
Uh,
where everyone can be happy all the time. And she is the thing is that when she sings too much, she falls asleep, and the spell be broken when she falls asleep. So she's basically eating. There's these wake shrooms, which are basically, I guess, it's like caffeine plus meth or something, because they
oh.
let you just stay up indefinitely. But eating too many of them will kill you.
Oh.
But she's just chomping him down as she's trying to keep things under control until the end comes. So she kind of goes all hell bop on it.
Uh, Jeez.
And so the heroes have to band together, and the heroes who are trapped in the dream, and the heroes who are outside of it, which is basically Red Shanks's crew, have to attack in perfect unison
Mm.
to fight the Tote Musica on both sides of the barrier to kill it. And Uta, having heroically sung one last song to keep the worlds connected together, uh, dies a hero's death.
Uh, hmm, hmm.
Um, so uh, my, what's funny to me is that what kept occurring to me is that Uta is basically Ahsoka in the sense that she's this hyper important character who seems like she should have come up at some point before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be hypothetical here. Luffy. Oh yeah, Red Shanks is my hero. Red Shanks, mean that guy who genocided the island of music?
Yeah.
Luffy would be like, wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Again, it's much easier if the Navy isn't involved and the old man just lies and tells everybody untruths because he wants to develop this talents to unleash the true magic of the Tote Musica. But
Yeah.
no, everyone had to be reasonable and understandable. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of makes the story less interesting.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rare thing when I actually call for less logic in in reasonable characters, but that would have actually improved this.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned
Uh,
before that that Uta is of questionable canonicity. Um, Oda, the creator of the manga, has said that Uta is canon. She has appeared in the background of a few shots, I think specifically flashbacks, but the events of the movie are not.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd certainly hope that they it wouldn't be canon, given
Yeah,
everything
'cause
that happens in it.
yeah, like there's some logic breaking things here. Again, as far as the movie goes, it's totally fine. I
Mm.
enjoyed myself. Ado is a great singer, and her music works really well for the scenes. For like, because basically like every time she basically has god, she seems to have godlike powers. So when she's
Mm.
singing, she's like making huge music staffs appear, and people get stuck to them,
Uh,
and they have to free themselves by singing the music where it lines up with their heads.
okay.
Um, the characters all get to do something cool at some point or another.
Mm.
I had forgotten that the dub version of Usopp was done by the guy who does Krillin on Dragon Ball, which is like perfect casting, like perfect cross casting.
Yeah.
Um, it was kind of funny watching it dubbed and having her suddenly start singing in Japanese, but that's what you always get with these productions.
Yeah.
Um,
Indeed.
Overall thoughts, despite my issues with it, I see why this was a big deal, and I'm really glad that it gave a singer who I was already into before it was cool. Actually, I don't. Okay, so I think I had seen some like whole life covers of some of her music, and then I saw a cover of the song from this one, which is where it really became aware of her. So I guess I didn't like her before it was cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll turn in my glasses and my skinny jeans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, decent watch. Soft recommend. It's on Crunchyroll for free. Give it a shot.
Okay. Oh, very, very cool.